Bienvenidos al capítulo 4 en Familia, parte 2. Okay, so the first section we're going to look at here is we're going to be checking out Funciones y Formas, parte 1. Okay, so on this section right here, we're going to be looking at present tense of stem changing verbs. Okay, and so with stem changing verbs, we see this part, which we call the stem of the verb, in this case is the E, is going to simply change to an IE in many of the cases whenever we're conjugating. Almost all of the cases, as we'll see. Okay, and this again is in the present tense. So for example, in the textbook, we will see here that we have in the yo form of pensar, we'll simply say instead of yo penso, it will change to yo pienso. Okay, yo pienso. All right, and you can see some examples of this on page 133, la página 133. Yo pienso, yo cierro, yo empiezo, yo entiendo, yo prefiero, yo quiero. And we see actually that in all forms we'll have a stem change in the stem, so E to IE, except for the nosotros form, when we have pensamos. So it just changes to P-E-N-A-M-O-S, pensamos. Okay, same thing for O to UE. Yo vuelvo, yo almuerzo, yo cuesto, yo duermo, yo encuentro, yo puedo. Okay? And the same thing happens with the E to I in the verbs pedir, repetir, and servir. Okay, so if you will just check out 133, you can see all of these conjugations. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be that difficult of a verb, or of a verb to conjugate. It's just a matter of grouping these, and you'll see some different groups that they have, grouping these into either an E to IE category, an O to UE category, or an E to I category. All right, and by doing this, it really does simplify things quite a bit, I believe. Okay, so stem-changing verbs deviate from the normal pattern of regular verbs. When stem-changing verbs are conjugated, they have a vowel change in the last syllable of the stem. Okay, so just like with here, empezar, we have the E, and this is going to change to pie, impie, empiezo. And like we said earlier, with the O, vuelvo. Okay, looks great. So in many verbs, such as empezar, to begin, the stem vowel changes from E to IE. Note that the nosotros and vosotros form don't have a stem change. So I just said this a second ago, but I just wanted to show you here, okay, that with here, the empiezo or empiezas, we do have the stem change in nosotros, and the vosotros form do not. So in a way, you can think of a boot here. Top of the boot starts up here. It comes down to empiezas, and the sharp end of the boot, the toe, comes right under here, and everything that we can encompass inside of this boot is going to have a stem change. However, what we're leaving outside of the boot, the nosotros and vosotros, do not. So that's just a little trick to help you remember this. In many other verbs, such as volver, the stem vowel changes from O to UE. The nosotros, vosotros forms have no stem change. Okay, we just saw this as well. Funciones y formas número 2, tener que más infinitive. Okay, so we have here tener que plus infinitive. And tener que plus infinitive is used to express what someone has to, needs to, or must do. Okay, Eliana, tienes que estudiar más. So, Eliana, you have to study more. Mi hermano tiene que comer menos. My brother has to eat less. Mis estudiantes tienen que estudiar para el examen final. My students have to study for the final exam. Okay? Funciones y formas número 3. So here we're expressing when, where, or how an action occurs. Okay. Adverbios. Adverbs in Spanish. So this is what we're going to be looking at to express when, where, or how an action occurs. We already know mañana, siempre, después, ahí, abajo, afuera. This is supposed to be bien, not bine. Sorry about that. Bien, mal, regular. These all can function as adverbs. Okay. Diego nada bien. So he swims well. Diego swims well. Pero yo nado muy mal. But I swim very bad. Okay. Many Spanish adverbs end in mente, an ending that corresponds to the English ly, the li. Mi abuelita camina lentamente. My grandmother walks slowly. Okay? So we were just taking an adverb, or I'm sorry, we're just taking an adjective, lenta, and tacking on lentamente. Okay? So to continue. Here we're simply adding mente to the end of the adjective lento, which is slow in Spanish. When two or more adverbs are used in a series, only the last one has the mente ending. Okay? So, la profesora habla clara, clearly, y lentamente. So we see that clara, we will not say habla claramente y lentamente. So if the first one, if we have two that follow one another, clara will be just in its adjective form, and lentamente here we see as it will be in its adverb form. Okay. Okay. Eso es la fin de la segunda parte. Please don't forget to check out part 3 of the chapter 4 lecture videos. Okay. I have decided to divide this particular chapter up into 3 sections because it is a lot of grammar, and so I think it's always better to study in small chunks rather than trying to take everything on at once. Okay? So please check that out. Email me if you have any questions, okay? I will be in touch. Adios.